Hey everyone, this is Planet Mitch from planet5d.com with an update with the daily Planet 5D. I think this is episode 21, and I think I've skipped episode 19 somehow along the way. I've been on vacation and out of town for the last 8 days, and that's why I'm a bit behind. I failed to upload one daily Planet 5D every day that I was gone. It's crazy. We did a long trip. We went first from St. Louis down to do a college tour for my oldest daughter, and along the way we ended up stopping in Austin, Texas for the 48-hour Guerrilla Film Challenge award ceremony, where we announced the Planet 5D, the Planet 5D Short Film Challenge, which you saw in an earlier episode of the Daily Planet 5D. And then we took a little short, and I say short in air quotes, because it was a lot of driving, to be honest with you. We went from Austin, a 10-hour drive over to Biloxi, Mississippi, which is where you saw me record episode 20. And then we spent 2 days there, which were pretty much a disaster. You saw from the video that I did in episode 20 that it was nice and sunny in the morning, but there were a few clouds in the background, and by noonish or right after lunchtime, we got deluged with rain. We'd had rain the day before all the way in the drive in from Austin, and so it was kind of a mess. And it turns out that there was a sewage backup, and that sewage backup from all the rain went to the beach. And so the next morning, well, that afternoon, or sometime, I'm all confused, we found out that the beach was closed. That's what it was. It was closed from the night before because of the rain, and then we had another rain. And anyway, the beach had all sorts of icky, apparently sewage water. We didn't see anything gross. But anyway, so we had a nasty afternoon that afternoon, and the next morning we woke up and it rained again, and the beach was closed, and blah, 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 blah. So we had fun in Biloxi, but it was a bit of a mess. And I recorded several gear things. I've got a lot of gear to show you. Like I said, I had the Nikon with me, and the Nikon D800, and I had my 5D Mark II. Anyway, what am I doing right now? So the tip of the day, after, 3-4 minutes of blabbling on... Oh, I forgot to mention we went to New Orleans. Right after Biloxi, we went to New Orleans for 2 days, and then yesterday we had a 12-hour drive home from New Orleans. So what am I doing right now? I am using a program. This is the iPhone app, and I can't, again, move it in because it's out of focus. This is GPS 4 Cam. It's an iPhone app. Let me back out of the export process. And I've done a demo of this before, which I probably will give a link in the show notes. Let's just call it blog.planet5d.com/GPS4Cam demo. And you can go see the link that I did for that previous video. And that's the number 4. That's not FOUR. So it's GPS, the number 4, CAM demo. Anyway, so this software runs on your iPhone while you're gone, and it keeps track of all the places you've been. I'm going to quickly go to a trip and click on that, and maybe you can see it's a little fuzzy. Again, if I bring it up, you can't really tell what it is. But this is a map of our trip. Let's see if I can just focus there. All right, so you can see all of the little tags that it made while we were on our trip. And anyway, to make a long story short, see if I can get that focused. I'll show you that right now the process is geotagging my pictures. And so I've given it a from location and a to location, and it is currently geotagging, and this can take a little bit of time, so you may want to allocate a little bit of time. But what happens, what I started to show you at the very beginning, When you go to a trip, you go on the phone and you do this export, and it does all these geotags. And in my case, it did, I think, 7 or 8 geotags. And you take your camera that you've been shooting all your photos with, and you take a photo of each of the screens, and then you scroll through and you do that. And here's what they look like on my computer, for example. Here is the geotagged photo that I took. And so I took all 7 of those. See, it says 1 of 7. And you put those in the same folder as the images that you're going to geotag. Since the 5D Mark III and the 5D Mark II and none of the Canons and none of the Nikons do GPS tagging inside the images. And then while you're running this program, it's going through and creating an export version of each of those photos. You see this particular one is a 5D Mark III image that I shot on July 19th. And it is currently going through the process. And this is the folder where they're being geotagged. And so why do you want to do that? So programs like iPhoto and Aperture, I think Lightroom probably does it, can show you on a map where each one of those photos was taken. And that's really cool. So at the very end of this, I'm going to open Aperture and I'm going to show you the map of the images that I shot with a Nikon D800 on Saturday when we took a little tour. And so that's probably showing right now because I'm going to insert that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, GPS 4 Cam is a great little tool when you go on a trip and you don't have a GPS thing to add to your thing, an extra add-on to slap on the side of your camera, and end up with geotags on your images and be able to show them on a map with special tools like Aperture and iPhoto, and I think Lightroom does it as well. Alright, so there you go. We'll have a whole bunch more stuff coming up in the next couple of days from our trip. The gear reviews, the exciting photos and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning into the Daily Planet 5D episode 20.